Can't believe you went to go take off your shirt because you remembered you were going to be on YouTube. All right, Benji. Tell me the real things about him. Give me the dirt. Is he really as nice as he says he is? Are you really the best dog? Find out on today's episode. All right, welcome to Strong Personalities. This is Yanni Bear, and today we have
Sumner Haye. Hey, I'm Sumner Haye.
All right, so real quick history on how we met. We met at Destination Dallas around 2017, and then you and your brother were the reason I actually got introduced into Strongman, because I was just doing Ollie lifting stuff, and out of the corner of my eye, I would just see these two giants just lifting like logs and the circus dumbbell, and then doing yoke carries.
Yeah.
At that point, how long have you been doing Strongman?
I had been 6 years into Strongman at that point.
6 years?
6 years.
So that means you're 27 right now. So that means you were 22. So you've been doing this since you were a teenager.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
How old were you in your first competition?
I was just about to turn 16, so I was 15 before I went into my first show.
I can't imagine being like 15 and looking at the sport and being like, that's what I want to do. Like, you weren't doing football, baseball, soccer?
No, so I was homeschooled. I didn't do any sports. I played upward basketball with my church for 3 years, and I made a total of 8 baskets in my 3-year career. So
were you not the tallest kid?
No, I was not. I actually wasn't the tallest kid. No, I was a late bloomer.
Yeah.
So I started working out because my older brothers worked out, and I really looked up to them, and I also just wanted to change myself too.
I think you've told me that you have 5 brothers and then a sister.
5 brothers and 1 sister. So I'm number 5 in the lineup. My brother Austin that was mentioned.
It could be a starting lineup.
Right up. So Austin's number 2 in the lineup. And he's the one that took weightlifting most seriously. All my brothers have gotten into it and have been serious at some point, but we've stayed consistent throughout these several years. I saw him compete, and I went to a health and fitness convention. I think it was the Ronnie Coleman Classic.
That's a great show.
April 2010. I saw massive bodybuilders for the first time in person. I saw all these crazy athletes moving crazy weights for the first time, because all I knew was LA Fitness changed. Whoever can max out on the machines, the alpha there,
The alpha.
And just seeing my brother compete, I fell in love with it. Because he had watched World's Strongest Man on the TV, and I would watch it too sometimes with him. But then actually seeing a brother do it and telling myself, you know what, I want to do that one day. So we met Scott Brockelman. Austin did at that competition, and Scott took him under his wing. And I tagged along and did strongman training on the weekends with him. Right?
It's a big old wing.
Austin, he's 6 foot even, or 5'11", like right at that part, and he's about this wide. He's a brick wall, always has been. But yeah, he's always been just a beast and someone to look up to as both an athlete and just a person for overall life.
Yeah, because y'all are built completely different. You're like, what, 6'3"?
6'3", 260, 270.
And then he's 5'11", 6 foot.
He's sitting at about, I think, 240, 245.
Yeah, he's just solid.
Yeah, he's a rock. So
first time I met him, I had just finished doing like 400-pound squat, and I was feeling good. And he's like, "Are you done?" I was like, "Yeah." "You want me to take out the weights?" He goes, "No." And then he just started squatting it for reps, and I was just like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go cry in the corner real quick." Tears of weakness. So we did. That's crazy that you were doing Strongman at 15.
Yeah, my first show was Trey Mitchell's first show.
The Berserker!
Yeah, the Berserker. So he came in as a teen with me and obviously destroyed the class. Travis Ortmeyer actually was a judge there. So I've got videos of Travis, his cowboy hat. He was at his peak back then. Now he's building back up. And he's super competitive now, which is awesome. But yeah, I had him judge me at my first show.
That's a heck of a first competition at 15. It was like your moment. It was like, this is your destiny. Because now, what is it now? You're 12 years in?
Yeah, I guess 12 years in now. 11 years technically. If my first show was in 2011. So
That's true.
Years.
Okay, so 11 years.
Yeah.
You said you were a late bloomer. So like, what's the size comparison from back then to like what you are right now?
So at 15, I was probably 200 pounds, like soaking wet, and 6'2" at about then, 6'1", 6'2". Now I'm 6'3" at around 265, 270. So I've been gaining a steady, 5 or so pounds every year. I told myself at 18 I wanted to be 300 pounds by 30. So I'm kind of close there. I'm 27 now. Maybe we'll get up there. Maybe we'll dirty bulk the rest of the way.
No!
we talked earlier, if I dirty bulk, then my blood pressure gets too high and I feel my pulse while I'm sleeping, so I can't sleep.
Remember, we talked about the Strongman post on like what light heavyweight events are better than the heavyweights, and everybody commented on breathing
and sleeping.
And
tying your shoes.
And tying your shoes.
I can do that, and so I'm going to steady gain and still do that.
Mobility is important, guys.
Yeah,
come on.
Very important.
That's awesome. Okay, that's crazy. So, what was your first love like when it came to the events that you did? Like, what did you fall in love with Strongman?
Deadlifts. Deadlifts easy. I actually, when I started out, my overhead was my worst event.
Okay.
Absolute worst event. I love deadlifts. Austin loved deadlifts. I wanted to be just like my brother and do what my brother did. So if he was deadlifting for 2 hours, I'm gonna try. All right, I'm gonna try. And I loved it. I did all different types of variations. Really enjoyed it. That's still something I enjoy and want to keep growing in.
Yeah. So we got so you got the big static. What about like endurance events or speed events? How do you feel about those?
So I actually like endurance events. They suck. They're painful, but I like them because I figured out a way to kind of prepare myself well for them to turn out to do pretty good. I've had 2 shows where I've had a sandbag carry for max distance, and the first show I won by 150 feet, and then I think the second show I won by I think only like 10 or 15 feet. But the guy who almost beat me, he near passed out and fell forward with it.
That happens so often.
I just got so exhausted, my grip was gone, and I was about at that 60-second time limit. But I got that extra 7 feet because Tommy Sharp was there, and I was walking towards him because we're going back and forth, and he's telling me to turn around and keep going. And because in my mind I was like, I'm gonna drop it here. That's 200 feet. That's good. And he told me to go, and I got that extra 7 feet, and that actually had me beat that one guy that fell over to 200 feet.
And if there's a name to trust, it's Tommy. Because that dude is a beast.
He's a crazy athlete.
And he doesn't have like I feel like he's the most flexible when it comes to weight and being extremely competitive no matter what weight class he's been in.
Yeah, he's just got that mindset that if he's gonna win, he's gonna win. It doesn't matter if it's middleweight or super heavy. If he's going in there, he's gonna win.
Yeah, he has utmost confidence in his abilities.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's backed up by all the work that he puts in.
He's a hard worker, man.
Who are some of the most memorable competitors that you've gone against?
Trey Mitchell. So I competed with him as a teen. I actually got to compete with him again in 2019. Well, we were in the same weight class at least, but that's about it. It was a Arnold Australia qualifier.
Okay.
At Metroflex Plano. That was a blast. I got to compete with Jacob Finchner. He's somebody who was
big red beard, right?
Yeah, red beard. He judges a lot of shows. He's a phenomenal athlete. He hasn't competed in about a year or two, I think, but he's coming back. Yeah, I think injury, just some health-related reasons, but he's coming back. He's got some, some people helping him out to get set up and, coached right. And, man, that guy, I saw him deadlifting a 585 trap bar deadlift, and I messaged him because he looked annoyed that it was going so well. And I was like, he looked annoyed that it was, too light, it was going so well. And I sent that to him, and super humble guy, but yeah, he's a great guy. I competed against Brian Barrett. He was an old-time pro. He retired in 2017, I believe. I'm trying to think of anybody else. I mean, there's a ton of great athletes.
I think you told me that you were at the same competition as what's that Ukrainian's strongman who won the World's Strongest Man 2 years ago.
No,
I thought you said you were.
I helped to do weights.
There we go. You were at a okay.
It was at the Kaz Classic. Jerry Pritchett was there. Mikhail Shivlikov was there. Lukain Herrick, phenomenal athlete. He was there. Who else? A lot of big lifters were at that one. I saw Jerry Pritchett rip 900 pounds off the floor before Austin and I could tighten the weights on the collars. He didn't even care. He just ripped it up and was like, I'm going to win this one.
Is 900 a number you think you can hit in the future?
I would love to.
Yeah?
I would love to. I really, that's something that I think about often. I want to hit a really big deadlift number. And 900 is definitely on the forefront of my mind.
So you said that's been your favorite. It runs in the family, from what it sounds like.
Yeah, it runs in the family.
Yeah. So what's some of like the work that you feel like you put into deadlift that not the average athlete or person that does deadlifts every once in a while can get to that big number?
I think so. I've had a handful of injuries like every other strongman competitor, right? And I've always learned something about myself. I've learned for my deadlift to steady progress is to put myself under constant tension.
Okay.
If I'm squatting heavy, my version of heavy, I'm gonna deadlift pretty well.
Yeah.
If I'm able to feel a good balance in my legs, do some unilateral work, that's also gonna work. So I like to actually deadlift a couple times a week. So I'll break it down and I'll do like a more of a technique day, 10 sets of 3, every minute on the minute at 50%. So something super easy, and all I'm doing is I'm drilling in my technique and explosiveness. It's supposed to feel.
Is that what you start off with in the week?
Yeah.
Or is that just one? Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
So I'll start off with the week on that. So I'll do that as a warm up, and I'll squat heavy. And then later on in the week, I'll flip it. I'll do some light squats, 10 sets of 3, get my technique in, and that's my warm up for deadlifts. My quads are good and pumped, my core's good and engaged, and then I'll go for a heavy set of 5 or a 3 and leave it at that. And having that kind of back and forth, that transfer of that technique versus strength has really kind of helped me to balance out, because for me, since I'm a little bit more of an explosive athlete, I used to stand in front of the bar and just dive down and rip it up. And
did you do the swim move?
Right? No, I just stand. I learned a technique of putting your lats in your pockets. So I'm putting my lats in my pockets, I take a big breath, and then I just go as fast as I can. I do that for deadlifts, for axle clean, everything. It's like, and everything. You watch any video. But yeah, being able to, I had to transfer from just that dive bomb deadlift technique to actually trying to have something that's repetitive.
Yep.
Something that I can replicate every time and build on. And it seems to work pretty well.
I like it.
Seems to work pretty well.
You mentioned a handful of injuries. What are some of the injuries you've had?
So I've had a couple back injuries. I hurt my back in high school, some stage 2 compression, did some therapy, saw a chiropractor. It took me a long time to get over that one because I was impatient, and I'd feel good on one day and think, what, today's the day I'm going to max out, because
it's like I have healed.
I was that gym bro who thought, I'm invincible, and if I don't hurt, I'm going to go for it. So I'm still kind of that way, which is good and bad sometimes, but I've had that. I tore my leg, small minor tears in my quad, calf, and hamstring, and then strained my IT band. I didn't know when it happened. It was after a deadlift session. I had felt my leg just felt stiff, like while I was working out. It was like I needed to stretch it. And then by the end of the day, my leg was just swollen up, and it hurt so bad to move. And I was like, I have no idea what's going on. The week after that, we went to the beach. So walking into the ocean with a torn leg was 100% miserable.
Yeah,
completely. Because, then the wave would push you, and it would force your leg to bend. And I'd just be like in pain. I'm like, why am I doing this? But I love the beach, so.
Why is Sumner floating the whole time?
So I've had that. I hurt my back in 2020. So after I hurt my leg that first time, I wanted to be a personal trainer. I realized if I'm always hurting myself, who's going to want to train with me? Because that you're kind of your advertisement. I mean, I'm not saying like, hey, you want to look just like me? I can get you to different goals. But if I'm always
look at me, you want this.
You want this. If I'm always hurt, then nobody's going to want to listen to me. So I wised up and was a lot more careful with myself and the way I pushed myself, and just learned a lot more about my body, along with getting, certified to train people. That helped a ton.
Yep.
In fact, I hadn't gotten hurt really until about 2020.
That's the big one.
That was the bigger one. Yeah. So I was doing a 400-pound Atlas stone. I'd never done one. I'd done 380 a couple times. But the 400 one, it was that wider diameter that I hadn't really figured out quite how to pick up.
I like how you did the Spock fingers.
Right? Well, and I actually heard it on warm-ups. I was doing kettlebell swings, and I felt kind of a pop or a slip.
Don't trust kettlebell
Now,
swings.
I'm just gonna say I'm not a medical professional. I'm assuming that I had my decompression or my slip discs based on what my chiropractor shared with me, my own research, and the way I felt. I never got an MRI to really check it out. I just knew something was messed up. So from there, I realized that there were a lot of things that made my back that compromised. Because as a strongman athlete, you have to be able to pick up and move things, and you're carrying things or throwing things. You have to have a lot of core stability and strength. And I had a lot of injuries that I was ignoring, or minor, things. Like I had chronic knee pain in my patella tendon on the right side. It hurt all the time. And I thought, oh, it's because I split jerk. That's the leg that it lands on. And so that's why it hurts more, because I'm putting more pressure on it. And then I've been pigeon-toed, I guess, all my life. So that's when your toes go inward when you walk. It looks terribly awkward.
Jackie Robinson was known for that.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But yeah, I didn't realize that my pigeon-toedness was because of weak hip flexors. My psoas weren't speaking to my hip flexors either. So I had that disconnection to where my spine was compromised because my core wasn't functioning the way it needed to. So I had to do a lot of core strengthening, stability, a lot of just rehab that I got from my chiropractor. I did some decompression therapy with them. I saw Patrick from Destination.
Yes.
I was telling him my back hurts, and he's like, your back's not the problem, your feet suck. Yeah. And I was like, this guy's an idiot. What is he talking about? But, 20 years of experience, he knows something, yes. Right? No, that guy is so knowledgeable. He was right. My feet were just so wound up and messed up. Everything was out of place.
And people forget that that's where your energy chain begins.
And I didn't know that. That didn't click with me. I always ignored it. I thought it was normal to have your feet hurt when you got out of bed every day.
Your feet hurt?
They would hurt every day.
Heck no.
So just working on I made a goal to myself. I wanted to be able to get up and get down with no pain.
Yes.
Because I had an infant at that point, our little Harper Grace. She was a couple months old, and I'm grunting like an old man to get on the ground. So more so with the back injury, but just learning to move with my body again, to be able to get up and get down, no pain, no strain, no nothing. That was my goal, and so I did that, and that's helped me come back even stronger, beat some of my, make some all-time personal records. Recently, I've been pain-free since September 2021.
That's awesome.
I used to feel a little bit of tension because when I slipped those discs, I pinched my sciatic nerve, so it actually shut down my hamstring and calf. And probably my whole leg, honestly, but I noticed there was atrophy in my hamstring and calf. So a lot of unilateral work to build that back up. I followed Squat University, knees over toes guy. That guy has helped me build some indestructible knees. Like, that's the last thing that hurts.
I'm surprised you don't have a sled here, because I see everybody doing the backwards.
He preaches about the sled. That's when I'll sometimes go train in another gym, and that's when I'll get my sled work in.
Nice.
Right now at the home gym, I've been slowly building and getting things here and there, so I don't have everything that I would obviously love to have, but I only have so much of a garage too. So if I had it my way, I would, get myself all these things. I would be broke. So, but
you're like half the house is just
right.
a gym.
Yeah. So I forgot where I was at, but yeah, I feel a lot
You're talking
healthier.
About the atrophy and
the atrophy. So to build that back up, a lot of unilateral work, and just to be a better, well-balanced person. And
I bet you feel so much better now about your future in Strongman versus a year ago.
Way better, because I was ignoring small injuries all the time.
Yeah.
My knee hurt, I'd put on a knee sleeve. Or I would do the floss band, if you guys know what that is.
Yes.
And I would just wrap it real good. And that would take away the pain.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't fix the root of the problem. And so just learning
Pain is feedback. Pain is feedback.
It is. And the longer you ignore it, the more susceptible you are to something more serious, like I had to learn on the hard way with my back.
All right, so what are some of you, now that you're back in a solid place, you're hitting all-time PRs, I think we're going to try to go for one today, because we're going to be running through some axle clean and presses, because that's my favorite movement. That's one of his best movements now, because I remember the first time I met him, it was the first, oh man, it was awkward, but he's been putting in the work, and now he's easily one of the best ones that I see do it consistently. So we'll see some big numbers today. So what are the next big goals that you have competition-wise?
I've got a couple in my sight. I'd love to do nationals, compete above 265, and place top 10. That's my goal for this year. I really want to do that.
And you're going to be doing it at 270, or are you going to move weights at all?
Yeah, I think I'll just naturally progress in my body weight. Depending on how training feels, I may chicken out and go to 265 and hope for taking home a medal or something.
Just take a big poop that morning.
But right, that's what I did. That's what I did for the battle act show.
Did you really
So I got mixed up on what the weight classes were. I thought Strongman Corporation got rid of the 265 class and they were keeping the under 300. So I was like, I'm gonna eat whatever I want. And then Garrett Payne showed up. He wanted to compete against me. He actually cut down to 265, and I weighed in like 274.
That's
72.
a big poop.
But I was wearing sweats and a hoodie. I emptied my pockets out, but I was wearing sweats and a hoodie. So I went to the bathroom, and I stripped down to my boxers, and I was like 264.6, like right there. And so I weighed in, and man, me and Garrett had a blast competing against each other. That guy's an awesome athlete.
So I was doing the mic and the stopwatch right between y'all.
Yeah.
And it was a blast, just like the different approaches, and y'all kept the same speed. You're freaking bunny hopping.
Yeah.
Between the deadlift bars, and then Garrett's just like smoothly, methodically, like a Terminator, just going through the deadlifts.
He just
so fun.
I didn't have a game plan going up to this one. I went,
the moment.
I lifted it, and then I was like, I just jumped. Like, it just was a natural thing. And then my feet landed in the perfect spot, and I ripped it, and I was like, okay, that's cool. And then I went to the next one. But what's funny is, like you said, Garrett was the same pace as me, but he's not doing, like, jumping or anything. He's just picking it up like a man. And I'm over here, like, just goofing off.
Like a spaz.
And we were well matched, and that guy was, like, this close from locking out an extra rep than me, like that close. And but man, that was so much fun. I had such a blast that day. I was having a good time all day long.
No, that was a great competition. So many people, so many big numbers and everything.
It was packed.
All right, so we're gonna take a quick little break. So we're gonna start getting warmed up, and we're gonna continue this interview while we're doing some axle clean and press. Boom.
That's what some people have been calling me, and I had a video from last summer.
They were calling you what? Chris Bumstead?
The Walmart version.
The Walmart? You're the off-brand version of Chris Bumstead.
I'm great value. Chris Bumstead. Which, to me, that is a compliment, okay?
You're like, I provide value.
He's an Olympia. Like, he's Mr. Olympia for men's physique.
How the fuck are you not tying your shoes?
I don't need to yet, because I'm going to eventually put on knee sleeves, and I'm lazy. Knee sleeves. Now, I don't do that until later, though. Like, I want to make sure that everything feels good before I put on anything. Alright. Oh, this is Benji. This is my hobo dog. He's awesome, though. He's a good boy.
He's a purebred good boy. Good boy, Benji. He's like, I'm out.
He's like, I'm good.
He's moving the weights.
See, you've already got the hip pop. Are you okay with 90-pound jumps?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I do.
You're not gonna tell me if you're not okay with them.
Wait, why would you say that?
Because I remember doing circus dumbbell with you one time. No warm up. And I had already warmed up and I was at like 150 and you're like, yeah, I'll go for it. And then we went for 180. And you got it.
No, I missed the 180. I got 155.
And that was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were trying 200.
No, because remember you said like, oh, you just haven't warmed up, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go work out.
I remember that.
Because it was for the Europa. We were getting ready for the Europa.
Yeah. Man, that 225 circus dumbbell, I failed it 2 weeks before.
Yep.
But it was like a technical thing. Like, I remember my split. I did this weird like split thing where I was like this, and then my lockout was here.
Yeah.
And because I was twisted, I just didn't quite connect it. So I didn't touch it until comp day. I didn't even do a lightweight, and it was like perfect. So happy with it.
It's always nice when it comes together. It's stressing me out that you don't have your shoelaces tied. I can't watch.
Do I need to tie them for you?
No, just do it. No, you do you. I'm just letting you know.
Well, you didn't even stretch, so.
I did stretch a little bit.
You didn't stretch.
Benji, did I not stretch? That's what I thought. Your left side goes higher. So you go straight from fucking right here to here without
Yes.
any hips.
I don't know how to do it.
That's nuts, man.
No.
I've been doing continental for so long now. Wait, hold up.
There you go. That is fancy there. Are you supposed to do like a full launch and then catch it?
That's what you're supposed to do.
You were missing that full launch.
Yeah.
That was it. So take that for what it is because, again, you know more than me.
No, you're not supposed to jump technically. So I
Oh.
remember my old coach used to yell at me for that.
Are your
You're supposed to like.
just
I just
fall
jump
apart?
when I feel like my feet aren't awake.
See, I launch it and catch myself. I'm in air.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's right though.
That is right because that's why when you warm up, that's why you're doing this one.
Yeah.
This and then getting
There's
under.
Dave Mosley. You remember him?
No.
Firefighter. He did
Yes.
Olympic lifting.
Yeah.
Dude he was close to 400 pounds and he was like 190, 180.
Yeah. It was always very humbling to lift around him.
He really helped me hone in my critique.
Do you do continental at all?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
When my next jump, I'll switch to it.
Wait, why are you warming up differently than what you're gonna lift?
Because I like the method of make your warm-ups a challenge. Does that make sense? So like deadlifts, I'll work up to like 585 beltless and then I'll put a belt on.
Huh.
Or I'm doing no straps until my working weight so I can really push myself. So here, work on a little bit of grip as I'm warming up.
That makes
Maybe I'm
sense.
wrong, I don't know.
You got some lions freaking fingers, man. That jerk is nasty.
Was that okay?
Dude. That jerk is nasty.
That clean felt a little more comfortable.
You kept it closer?
I did feel it
So you did this, which is, it's funny because like when you're only lifting, this is pretty much what you're doing, and then you're just muscling this.
So I'll go here and then I muscle it to my stomach,
which makes sense. That's fine.
Instead of controlling.
But get your hips involved. That's all you got to do. Okay. So like when the bar's here, like when it's wedged here, boop. That's it.
Okay. Wow.
I really like your little split catch.
That is like an involuntary thing.
Where'd you learn? Oh, so you just accidentally learned that?
Yeah. It's just, I don't know what I'm doing.
It's smart.
It's just like, I know I need my legs to kind of split a little bit to catch it.
Yep.
And it just happens to be, and it's because I'm split jerking. That's the only thing I do.
I gotta do the Haye.
We only go ups from here. Did you ever watch the old, it was like one of the first Planet Fitness commercials of this muscle buff where the guy's showing him the weights and he's like, what do you like to do? And he's this guy with this like cut off flannel and he's like, I lift things up and puts them down. I loved that commercial, but I was like, in my mind I was like, I want to be like that Jack dude. Like, why'd they kick him out? Forgot to breathe.
What's your PR on this?
To clean it and press it, 345.
Chase it for me.
This is for you.
This is for me.
You gotta disrespect it a little bit. You know, like you kind of want to throw it around a bit just so you know, okay, this is nothing. Just slap it. You need chalk?
See, this is why people can't take me seriously at competitions. Because I'm always in my head, I was like, I bet you I can make somebody laugh while I'm carrying this heavy ass thing.
Alright, let's see it. There we go.
Oh no, that was bad. 1 second.
Here we go. Elbows were a little soft.
No, they were definitely soft.
Your lats are probably trash from yesterday.
Hit a new PR yesterday on my deadlift, 605. Come at me, bro.
600.
What did you hit on deadlift?
What did I hit?
Yeah, what's your max deadlift?
705.
Shh, never mind, I'm gonna edit that out. Like, I can't be talking trash at 6.
Yeah, but
and then you're like, 700.
yeah, but then again, like, look at other super heavies. They're like, oh, your max is only 700. Okay, I did that for 10 last week. And I'm like, okay, thanks. If everything goes well, everything will go well. You know what? I like to speak positivity into what I'm about to do, and it's going to go well.
I did a mini interview with Benji, so the truth will come out.
Did you ask him how much trash he eats?
Benji.
Yeah.
Well, he is a hobo dog, right?
Yeah, straight up.
What's the story behind him?
So my wife Channing found him out. We went to the same college. She found him just outside of campus while she was driving to meet me. It's raining. He looked scared, so she followed him basically until he couldn't run anymore because he kept running away from her, and asked me if I could clean him off and take him and figure out if he's got a chip or anything on him. Didn't have a chip. I didn't really look that hard for his owner because I fell in love with him and kept him ever since. So if this is your dog, I'm sorry, he's mine now.
All right, last warm up at 300.
325.
325. Math is hard.
Full warm up. Get that belly nice and chalked up. So you can see there's no grip shirt needed. All right, Harper, you ready? You want to come watch? This is Harper.
Hi, Harper. I heard you're the coach.
Yeah, she's the coach. Oh, are you offering up animal crackers to Yanni?
Is it for me? Okay, yeah, I'm not going to say no to animal crackers. Thank you, Harper. Oh, just one. Yep. Yep. I think she's telling me I need a cut.
Thank you, Harper.
Thank you, Harper. You're so sweet.
Okay, can you stay right there? Daddy's gonna lift weights. You gonna work out too? Harper workout.
So, who's the pound for pound stronger, you or Harper?
Definitely Harper.
That's fair.
Okay.
I assumed.
I don't want you getting in the way, sweetheart. You want to stand over here? There, Mama, can you hold Harper for a second?
I love this.
This is what it's like working out with a family. It's a lot of fun. Okay. Was that good?
Great job.
I mean, if you like average, that's
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, above average, maybe, slightly.
Go Sumner. Go Sumner.
The butt sweat.
Yeah. Evidence of a good workout.
Here we go, baby.
There you go.
Money.
Come on, baby. Let's get this. Want to be a big boy.
I want to be a real boy. Huh?
Come on, you can do this. I don't need those. Let's go, baby.
You
Self
have
centered. That's it. I'm weak.
You're not weak. You were going for a 3-rep PR.
Useless.
345. We do not talk about ourselves like that.
And didn't even get one rep.
Hey, it's not your day today, man.
Alright, what's my punishment set? Feet pictures. Who knows? Something hard.
All right, man. So we had attempted 345. You were trying to go for a 3-rep PR.
Yeah. I got 335 a couple weeks ago, so thought it would happen, but
Are you trying to wipe off the failure? Is that what's happening?
I'm wiping off all the failure and disappointment. But yeah, just things aren't connecting. I need to. One thing I'm working on is getting my body more conditioned to training with heavier weights, because as I'm still recovering, I'm still not putting myself under as much tension as a lot of competitors do. My brother Austin, for example, he's a great example. That guy can put himself through like a destructive workout, and he's so dense and built for it. If I put myself through the same thing, I'm burnt out, I feel broken down. Because I used to spend an hour and a half on a primary lift. Well, we're doing that right now, but doing that for several sets, work up to a top set of 3, and then do some sort of, pyramid scheme, and then go down and then do accessories. But if I do that on a regular basis, I'm too beat down. So
And he works out from home just like you, right?
yeah.
So what's that? I feed off of people.
Yeah.
That's why I like working out at a gym at Battle Axe. But what's it like working out by yourself, man?
It's tough because being in an environment with other athletes is always very inspiring, and it helps you to kind of push yourself, because I'll compete against somebody and in the gym sometimes just for fun. Like, we'll trash talk each other and, you know, add on 10 more pounds and see what you can do. And that's always really helped me to push myself, to grow a lot. I remember Deadlift Mondays at Destination were completely wild, because you had some 700 pound, 800 pound pullers on a regular basis go in there and rip up weights, and being able to jump in with them and give some of those guys a run for their money was always a good push for me and fun. But training alone is challenging, because there's no one around here to tell you to do one more rep, to finish your workout. There's nobody to hold you accountable. It's all up to you. And being home, this is like my relaxation place. So being able to go from like rest mode, relaxing mode with the family, to like, let's turn on some intensity in here, is tough, because I'm often training late at night too, and I want to go to bed. I want to sit down and watch TV, but I know if I want to grow, I need to put in the work. And it's taught me a lot about grit, and taught me about how much I really want it, because I'm not relying on encouragement from other people all the time and approval of other people. I'm having to rely on what my results give me, and that's it.
And grits are great for breakfast.
And grits are great for breakfast. Ronnie Coleman had them for breakfast. He had an 800 pound deadlift. You know, 7-time Mr. Olympia. He didn't eat vegetables. So, you know what? Be like Ronnie Coleman. All right.
On average, how many shirts do you think the average strongman goes through once summer kicks in?
I have no idea, but this is shirt number 3 for me right now. I don't think I've done more than 3 shirts. I remember Pillars of Strength in New Braunfels in July is a terrible idea. That competition. It was like open warehouse, so it was like 110 inside. I went through 3 shirts, and I eventually just ditched the shirt after event 3 because it was so miserable. There were not enough fans. It was hot. It was a fun show. All right, just pick it up. That's all it takes.
Don't overthink, man.
Nope. This is lightweight, baby. Come on. I'm done for today. That's it.
Yeah, like I said, which one's your favorite?
My favorite one is that Texas Strongest Man. I wish it said first place though.
Who'd you lose to?
Joe Westmoreland. He's a phenomenal athlete. He beat me by like 1.5 points, and I know exactly where he beat me to. I think about it often, but it's a great show. I actually like this too. I got the heaviest dumbbell of the day last year at I think it was the Europa show. 225, was very happy with that. I've got a couple medals down here that I'm really, proud of to at least have. I've got 3rd place at that's my Arnold one. I've got 3rd place from
Nice flex.
Strongman Nationals. This is kind of a flex, but not really, because I did awful. So I'm gonna have to go back and actually get something more than just a medal that I qualified and some T-shirts, because that's really all I got. But yeah, all these date back to 2011. I got my first medal at 16. It was, where is it? It was this one. Yeah, it was this one here. This was at Cowtown Strongest Man in July of 2011. And then this was my first win, 2013, the Show of Strength. I've actually gotten the most wins at that show. So I've got 2013. This is 2015. I think this one's 2016, and then 2017. They just didn't put the dates on there. So, but yeah, welcome.
So, quick question: what would be like if you could make any kind of trophy? Like, if money wasn't an option or a problem, what would be your perfect strongman trophy?
Okay, so when I think about strongman, I think about like Vikings and warriors, right? And so I want like a sword or a battle axe, you know, something really epic there. I mean, I really like the custom made trophies and everything. If there's just a medal at a show, I understand that shows cost money, but I'm always looking for like what's something really cool that I could put on my shelf and I could look at and be reminded and be proud of. And so having something unique, like I love some of these unique custom made ones because there's nothing else like it. I've got one to show you. If you look back there, I got most dominant male at the Battle Axe Showdown. And if you look closely, you can see that the most dominant male figure is a female Derek. No, but this, my flex for that is this trophy was too big to fit on the shelf over there, so.
All right, so I noticed that you started doing a little side hustle, and it looks like it has to do with leather. Kinky.
Yes, not really.
Oh, sorry. So what are we doing?
So this goes back to the January competition that I did. I went to go train stones late December for this show, and I lost my stone sleeves. I hadn't trained with them for a long time because of my back injury. I have no idea where they are to this day. Maybe I left them at the gym. So I didn't have any. I searched online and tried to find some good leather ones, and I couldn't find any. Hey, sweetheart. Oh, thank you. I couldn't find any, and so I decided, you know what, let's go make a pair. So I made myself a pair of sleeves. I can get a little bit closer and show you guys, but this is hand cut, custom for myself only, for fitting on my forearm. I'll set this down right here. So it's really simple. It just goes on my forearm like this, and then I'll use zip ties to tighten it on here. So when I'm done, I cut the zip ties and that's it. Still has tack.
Wait, you use zip ties, not laces or something?
Laces. So I've had laces before and it takes forever to lace up. And by the time you're laced up, your hands are purple and you don't want to lift. So with zip ties, you can have them ready to go. You just cinch them tight, you tacky up and you're ready to go. You don't have to worry about your hands losing circulation, and it's tight. So these are rated currently, so since I've only got a couple pairs out, these are rated for 400 pounds. I nearly lapped a 440 with them and they have not slipped or scrunched. My old pair used to scrunch in the middle if they weren't tight enough or if I got sweaty, but this leather is thick enough to where it doesn't fold in. And I also put in this extra stitching here. I hand punched all the holes, hand laced it. I did all the grommets myself. But this lacing on the beginning and the end keeps it from scrunching up and helps to grip your skin better. I mean, it's actual hide on your skin, so it's going to be good connection.
So how do you, like when somebody orders this from you, and by the way, where do they go to order this?
So I've got it really simple right now. You can just reach me on Instagram or Facebook, shoot me a DM. My Instagram is @Sumner Haye. And Facebook, Sumner Haye. There's not another Sumner Haye, so I've got a unique name, which is kind of nice. But you reach out to me, say, hey, I'm interested, okay, and then I'll get your sizing. So I need a couple different sizes, and what I do from there is I'll cut a piece of wax paper, actually, and then I'll lay it on top of my leather. I'll cut it out. I'll start punching my holes away, and getting everything laced up, everything lined up. After it's put together, I'll ship it straight off to you and you're ready to go.
What measurements do you need?
So I'll do measurements. I've got actually a picture just of my forearm, but I need circumference measurement here, circumference measurement here on the thickest part of your forearm, and then the length, which is usually about like 6 to 8 inches here. It's custom fit to you. I take off a secret amount, so there's a certain gap here, so you don't have the leather overlapping when you tighten it with the zip ties, and you've got good traction here with enough room to wiggle around and cut the zip ties off. You can lace it if you like. I mean, this is what it comes like. So you could lace it if you wanted to. I just prefer zip ties because I've been successful with that. Mostly. These take about 5-6 hours a piece to make. I I want to make sure I do it right. I want to make sure I make my cuts right and I do my holes right. I punch everything in okay. So I really take my time on these. I wanted to start selling them because one, they benefited me so much, and there's not too many that I see that are readily available that aren't branded for a specific federation. You can get Strongman Corp ones. I don't know if they're good or not. I'm sure they're great, but I couldn't use that for USS. Yeah. So I'd be stuck to one. But yeah, I enjoy them. I like them, and I know they're a good product. So I thought, why not make them and sell them? So that's what I've got. If you're interested, you want to keep your forearms safe, you've got arm tattoos, and you're worried about the stones actually getting into your skin and messing up the ink, cover them up with something better than duct tape. You're going to get sweaty. The duct tape, the athlete tape's going to slip. This will not slip on you. It's guaranteed. And I'm a baby. I don't like having torn up forearms all the time. I can train stones all the time now because I don't have scabbed up forearms from doing them without anything. I can do that, but I would rather train it on a regular basis and not have to worry about having beat up forearms.
And how much are those?
Those go for, a custom pair goes for $150 a piece. So you put in your order, you give me your measurements, you submit your payment, I cover shipping costs, I'll put it together for you and ship it out when it's done. It takes me a couple days, so depending on where you are in the lineup, I'll give you an estimated delivery date, and that's when you should expect to have it.
Awesome. Do you have a name yet for the company yet?
I've thought about like H stone sleeves, Haye stone sleeves. I'm going to work on getting a brand or something to actually brand maybe the inside of it or just on the outside.
So they're catching this early.
Yeah, so this is very, very early. I'm still experimenting with different types of leather. So I'll possibly have different colors and different leather patterns that are coming out.
So right now it's just one pattern and one color.
One pattern, one color till I run out of that hide.
Okay.
And then once I do, I'm going to shop around, find some other options, and have a couple other ones to offer to people and say, okay, what color do you want for this? What color do you want for that? What type of lacing do you want? So they can really have something that is measured to them. It's to their style and their liking.
And I'm going to ask one last question. How does it do with tacky on it? How easy is it to clean it off?
So I prefer to actually keep a little bit of tacky on mine. You can see as I'm taking them apart, there's tacky on these already. I mean, you could clean it off with Goo Gone, but then you'll have that Goo Gone residue on. I honestly never really clean my sleeves if they don't have a bunch of dirt and junk. You can see there's not a lot of dirt on them or bits of stone. It's just tacky. So I don't clean them that way, but if I needed to, you could put a simple Goo Gone on it and clean it off completely. But I just like to keep them stuck together, and then I'll wrap them up in a t-shirt or something, and then I'll use that little bit of tacky as I'm warming up. Mostly that little bit comes off, and I'll add a little bit more on as I get to my top sets.
Awesome.
But that's it.
All right, man. So you've been talking about Harper and the family. How are they as blah 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 blah? How do they do as your support system?
Oh, it's huge to have their support, because if I don't have that understanding of and just kind of shared passion for fitness that Channing has and being healthy, I wouldn't be able to do it. It's been huge to have a support just to allow me to have this space, really. This is like the second living room to me. But yeah, it's huge, and it's fun to have Harper get involved in it too, to come watch me compete. Channing says, "Go Sumner, go," and so my last show, she was trying to say my name and say, "Go Sumner," and she knows to cheer for me, and she tells me to go work out every time I put her to bed. She says, "Daddy, go work out." So I go do what she says most of the time.
I was like, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing that she looks at you and goes, "Go work out." You're losing the pump.
Yeah, go work out. What do you want, baby? You want me to pick you up? Oh, I love you too. This means I love you in sign language.
I thought she was giving you the middle finger off the corner of my eye.
Oh, where are we going? Are we going out here?
Yeah.
Okay, can we go out here? All right, well, thanks so much for joining Yanni for my somewhat workout and for hanging out. It's a lot of fun.
All right, see you guys.